Oh, Monkey Jones, won't you shake a bone? Break an egg, bake a scone, wreck a ninja, mount your Honda, won't you shake a bone? Monkey Jones, Monkey Jones.
I think you're freaky and I like you a lot. I think you're freaky and I like you a lot.
Man, I'm 2 for 2. I had a wreck last week on my bicycle, which was not my fault, and I had a wreck on my EUC coming up the driveway a few minutes ago. I'm a bit scraped up. Fortunately, I've got a shot of vodka and some. Shut up, cat. You have to shut up. You have to. She doesn't have to. Shot of vodka, some Yingling Black and Tans, and a few scrapes. Oh, and of course, on par in keeping with our theme, an antihistamine, an anti-allergen drug. So whenever I got something that's going to swell up, other than my joint, I don't take Tylenol. I don't take ibuprofen. I don't take things that are meant to stop you from feeling the pain. I take allergy medication because that's an antihistamine, which is the same thing, to stop the swelling. Why? Because that's where your pain comes from. You're not going to be able to get rid of the pain and the damage. You're not going to be able to. What you can get rid of, not without hurting yourself anyway, what you can get rid of is the swelling. So there are two ways to do that. Put ice on it, elevate it, and take an antihistamine. See, your body is extremely sophisticated but primitive. So when you get the boo-boo, it tries to protect that part of the body by creating a bandage, and part of that bandage is inflammation. It makes it so that, well, if we're going to get hit right here today, well, I'm going to make this spot real hard to hurt. And it puffs it up so that, that's a large shot. For the greater good. Oh, that's actually kind of tasty. What is that? I don't think we're supposed to advertise alcohol, but I'm already demonetized, so fuck YouTube. Parrot Bay, strawberry, 90 proof. Pretty tasty. Pretty tasty. Tastes pretty good. Pretty good. Alright. So, to start things off, I want to talk about health a bit. Why? Because it's everything. Because you're not in this world if you don't have health. Everything about what you think of as being you, everything about the thing that you think is you, is based on health. What does health mean? It means the structural integrity of your ass. Right? How do we maintain that? Well, we maintain it through food and medicine, primarily. Somewhat less important is exercise. That's right, exercise is less important than what you eat. It's less important than how you hold your mind. But it does help. It helps because it squeezes shit out of you, makes you sweat. That's why exercise is good for you, to the extent to which you don't injure yourself. People who understand health the best are more than anything else, they're focused on their diet. They're focused on not putting nasty stuff in their bodies. And that is the most important thing you should be thinking about when you want to feel better, when you want more energy, you want to be stronger, you want to get more stuff done, you want to be smarter, you want to be faster, you want to feel better, you want to enjoy life more. the first thing you should... Do I need to break out the squirt gun? It's right here. It's right next to me. And it is loaded. Here it comes. Oh, you smacked your face against the wall. I gotta go say sorry to her. She smacked her face against the wall. Come here. It's okay. It's okay. Come here. It's alright. Retard. Alright. She's dumb. Okay, she has this a condition known as cat brain, and it basically means that she's retarded. You know, which is a shame, because if I had a cat body, I could do wonders with it. I assure you. Yes, I could. Yes, I could. Keep looking at me like that. See what happens. You smack your face against another wall. She smacked her own face against the wall. I don't smack my cat. I don't hit my cat. I don't hit anyone who doesn't deserve it. So health. What do we know about health? Well, I'll tell you the one thing that you should know about health is that you will never learn how to be healthy by paying attention to mainstream channels. You're never going to learn how to be healthy by watching television, by listening to public school teachers. I gotta keep a cold beer in my hand because I doinked up the inside of my pinky finger and it wants to swell up. Still got a free hand. What was I saying? You're never ever going to learn how to be healthy by taking anyone's word for it. You see, now this is what it's about. Taking someone's word for it. This is how we flush ourselves down the toilet. That is why CNN is has gone from being the most trustworthy. And look, I'm going to put some ride footage over this because I've got some to spare. And I know some of you people complain when I talk about health stuff. But it fucking matters and it ties into everything else. Think about it. I know you won't. Black and tan. Why don't I get that more often? That's good. Yeah. Oh, that's a long scrape. Man, that makes me look tough. That's cool. Yeah. So, where should we start? Okay, let's start with salt. All right. Salt, my darlings, is good for you. It's very fucking good for you. Real salt. Good salt. You know, pink Himalayan salt. There's a beige or grayish kind that I'm not sure where it comes from. But the salt that you find on tabletops, in restaurants, in diners, all across the nation, that's a kiss for you. That kind of salt, it is broken and ruined. It is, you see, salt is, I'm not going to pretend I understand what it is. We don't understand what anything is. But natural, good salt from the ocean, from the Himalayas, from the earth, it is full of machine parts that your body needs to function properly. And it, but, table salt, the kind that you use to kill slugs with, put down some sea salt in front of a slug and see if it has the same effect as table salt. I haven't tried this, but I'm willing to bet that if you... I should try it. I shouldn't try it. I should try it. I'm willing to bet that if you do a scientific experiment, I'm not willing to murder any more slugs unless they get inside my house. But I'm willing to bet that it will not just it's not like pouring hydrochloric acid on them. You got the zoomies? Right now, this is the time to get the zoomies? At this time. Cat brain. Yeah, you see, it's like, table salt is like broken glass. It's like broken glass. It's sharp. And when it goes into your body, it shreds your arteries. The reason you have plaque in your arteries is because Well, it has to do with sugar, but it also has a lot to do with table salt. Table salt, it gets in there and shreds your arteries, and so in order to save you from bleeding out internally, your body lines your arteries with plaque, cholesterol. Yes, cholesterol is there to save your life, and you need some on hand in case something like that happens. Cholesterol is see, in the same way that when you donk your joint on the sidewalk and it swells up, because your body thinks, oh, I guess we're going to get beat up from this angle, so I'm going to puff up and make it so you can't break our bones and shit. If you're going to keep punching me here, I'm going to get all puffy. Your body does the same thing on the inside. When ruined salt starts shredding your arteries like glass, your body pumps cholesterol into that part of the body, because yes, it's very sophisticated, but it's also very primitive. Right? So your cholesterol is there to form band-aids inside of your blood vessels. There's no such thing as bad cholesterol and good cholesterol. That whole bad cholesterol, good cholesterol thing was just a lie, because people were starting to realize that cholesterol's not that bad, so they had to come up with a way to keep the lie in action. Oh, but there's the bad kind and there's the good kind. And then every time you go to the doctor, these fucking tools who will say whatever they're paid to say, they'll tell you, well, you got lots of bad cholesterol, but you ain't got any good cholesterol. So I guess you gotta stop eating all that stuff that's good for you, the butter and the meat and oh yeah. And you're going to get real weak, and we're going to put you on statins, and that's going to suck the fat out of your brain so you become retarded and die. See, you're never going to be healthy if you listen to a mainstream doctor. There are plenty of doctors on YouTube who I don't believe that they're always right. And we always have to say that, don't we? I don't agree with everything he says. So if he once said it's okay to shoot Jews in the joint, me and joints right now, then I disagree with that. So don't think that this is what censorship has done to us. It's turned us all into fucking Muppets. I don't agree with everything they did. No, there are lots of good doctors on YouTube who, you know, they have their training, which is fine, but they also have their scientific mindset, and they're not just going to do whatever they're told and paid and cajoled into doing. They figured out another way to monetize their skill, and they're using it as an opportunity to tell the truth to the rest of us. So what we should be doing is we should be listening to these guys and reading the things that they say that we should read, reading their articles, reading the articles that they suggest that you read, reading the books that they suggest that you read, and at least listen to 3 of them. So there's Dr. Berg. I like Dr. Berg. Dr. Gundry is another one that I listen to. The other one is a channel called Motivational Doc. And Motivational Doc is cool, but kind of spooky at the same time, because he talks a lot about, he'll give you a lot of advice about pressure points, right? And I've found his pressure point, it's basically self-acupuncture. But I've found it useful because, as you know, up until a few weeks ago, I was a smoker. I smoked 1 cigarette a day for several years, and before that I smoked a pack a day for several years. All right, but I'm also a distance runner. I run 3 miles a day, 3 days a week. That's not a lot, but that's what I do. And so I'm very aware of how well I'm breathing. And a lot of motivational, I don't know his name, he's kind of fruity. He talks about pressure points. So the ones that I remember are, you should have, so in the middle, in your chin here, there's two points to your chin, and then there's a sort of a fin, all right, creating a kind of triangle. And right in the middle of that triangle is a spot that if you were to press on it rather roughly and make it hurt, that will open up your lungs. Okay? The other one was, I can't remember. It was the nail bed of the thumb. You're supposed to either press down the back of the nail bed of the thumb, or I can't remember which way it goes, or press in the sides of the thumb, and that too will open up airways. So what he's on about, which I think is very interesting, and you know, the only way to form a meaningful opinion about it is to try it. And I do those pressure point moves when I begin my run in the first quarter mile. I start doing that. I'll go with my, especially it's very humid here, especially this time of year, and that makes it hard. That constricts the airways. So I'll try this in the first quarter mile of my run. I'll press my thumb, press the other. I do 3, and then I'll go for the chin. All right, and it really does seem to open up my lungs. Of course, there's a meditation that I do while I run as well when I feel that my airways are constricted, and that is I imagine my chest and lungs as being like the traditional cup symbol, the upside down triangle, which is a symbol of reception. It's a classic occult spiritual symbol. I think I'm bleeding all over this thing. Nah, it's just pus. Anyway, but that's much more difficult than doing the pressure points. But you can maintain normal form while doing that. Let's see, what else? Since we were talking about salt, we should talk about sugar. All right, a big reason salt was demonized. Isn't it funny that demonized and demonetized are so similar? I wonder if there could be a connection. The sugar lobby was behind the demonization of salt. And I forgot to tell you, there's a good monetary reason. There are spiritual reasons and there are monetary reasons and power reasons why many of these things are done. So the spiritual reason is to make you weak and easy to control. The monetary reason was there's so many good, vital pieces of machinery inside of salt, real salt, that salt manufacturers realized they could double their paycheck. Well, how can they do that? Well, gee, if they fucking sell you salt and say, enjoy your fucking poison, motherfucker, and then take all the vitamins and nutrients and the good mechanical garbage that's in there, sell that to vitamin manufacturers. They're doubling their income by selling you the shit and then selling it to vitamin manufacturers who you get sick by eating the garbage salt, and then you go to the vitamin manufacturer hoping that they're going to give you back whatever nutrients you pissed out your asshole by eating too much fucking ruined salt. It's all so neat and tidy, isn't it? You remember that? What? Okay. Remember the first Batman movie with Michael Keaton and Jack Nicholson? The Joker smile is a Nazi smile, by the way. I'll explain that to you another time. But it is a Nazi smile, and you see it all throughout cinema. It means something. It's the face of a reptile. It's a power ritual that was... Anyway, I'll explain it to you at another time. What was I saying? Oh yeah, in the first Batman movie with Michael Keaton, which is my favorite, by the way. I mean, as sort of spiritually poisoned as all of those actors are, it's a cool movie. It's cool, and I don't even mind that Batman can't turn his head. It kind of makes sense, actually. But what the Joker was doing was creating poisons to sell to the public. And if you remember, the newscaster, the female newscaster, she developed a clown face on camera and died behind the desk. So what was happening was, if you use one of the Joker's products, I think it was all makeup. I'm not sure, but I think it was all makeup. Like shampoo and makeup and shit like that. Cosmetics and hygiene related stuff. If you used one product, it wouldn't do anything. But if you used two, you get a Joker smile and die. And I think that's interesting, because in that way, many of the things in our food, in our water, in our environment, that are meant to be poisons, they don't work if you don't have more than one, or if you don't have a sufficient amount of them in your system. And I think this stems back to the fact that the Cult of the Black Sun are well aware of the law of karmic retribution. Shit, I think I need to get some ice. This pinky finger is, I don't know, I'm trying to think of what I hit. Oh, it's a Christmas miracle. So I come home, and I want to show you this. Don't go anywhere, you fucking tit. So, okay, can you see this? I don't know. Can you see it? Okay. Yeah, there you go. I think you can see it. So, this is... Okay, so you can see the foot plate and the bottom of the wheel. That's my clearance. The foot plate, I stand on that. I stand on this. And then the wheel, of course. So, if anything hits the pedal, I go down. You know? So... God. Oh, you're a heavy girl, aren't you? Yes, you are. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. Yes, I talk to my machines. I do. I'll put something cold on that finger. So it's well known among EUC enthusiasts that I don't know time that if you clip your pedal, you're going down. All right. So the curb in front of my house is rounded, which is nice for me, which means I can come up on the sidewalk at any point. And tonight this cute black chick was walking up the sidewalk in front of my house, and I wanted to look. So I had an extra desire to look cool, and I wanted to cut hard and pop up and clip my pedal on the curb and went down. But the Christmas miracle is I didn't lose any of my beer bottles in the fall because I hold it like a football because that's funny. People seem to be amused by that. I keep waiting to hear someone say, "He's got good hands." It's a football term. I'm not a football fan. I just happen to know a few things about it because my dad used to force me to watch it. Not that I have a problem with the sport, I don't. I'm just not interested in watching it. I'm certainly not interested in following it. Alright, so what was I talking about? Oh yeah. So you get more than one health. You get more than... If you fall victim to more than one... Like in the Batman, I think it was... In the Batman movie, I can't remember if it was more than one or multiple. Like but definitely, if you used one Joker product, it wouldn't affect you. But if you used more than one, then they would combine to turn into poison. And I think there's wisdom in that, because the top assholes, the Cult of the Black Sun, the people who think they own you, they believe correctly that they have to be careful about karmic law. Okay? That's why they want the cops and the military to do all their dirty work for them. It's quite wise, quite intelligent, and it shows that they know way more than we do about the way the universe works. And it's also why order followers are going to go to if there's any such a thing like hell, order followers are going to go into the deepest part of it because they are doing the actual harm. If I tell you to do harm, if I tell you to slap your mother, you really ought to know better. And if you do it, it's not my fault you're stupid enough to do what I told you to do. Okay? And this is the reasoning of the top assholes. I think I bent my fender a little bit. God damn, you're a beautiful machine. You want a kiss? Later. Okay, I hope I don't forget to put the ride footage on. Otherwise you're gonna have to look at my face when I talk about this stuff. Okay, so back to the health lies. So if you fall for one, that's understandable. That's understandable. Because maybe they're not doing a good enough job telling us the truth about these things. But if you fall for two, well then it kind of starts to be your fault, doesn't it? Because now we've got a pattern of you fucking up your health, don't we? It's a pattern. And the top assholes are no longer responsible for it. The more you do the harm to yourself, the more the top assholes are absolved from their wrongdoing. However, I can assure you that they have overstepped their bounds. You see, the universe does punish dishonesty. It does punish deception. And if it wasn't for the way that they are, the world would not be in the condition that it's in. Therefore, they are responsible. But this place is a game. This place is a game. And the game is, do you choose the tree of life or do you choose the tree of death? Which tree do you choose to fertilize? Well, the winners in this game of wisdom are going to be the ones who fertilize the tree of life. But because those who choose to fertilize the tree of death are the way they are, there's going to be suffering. Alright. So now think about the health wisdom that we've discussed. Let's see, where are we? I'm just gonna restart just because we're getting close to the half-hour mark, and I'm getting close to being forgetful. I can't. Yeah. And we go boop. And we go boop, I think. I hope. Jesus Christ. So what really matters is that we do our own thinking. We do our own searching. So the way to be free and the way to be healthy is to have a fully activated left side mind and a fully activated right side mind, and to connect them. Now, there are many ways to do this. One of the easiest ways to do this, though temporary, and it doesn't change who you are, it just helps. If you're ever experiencing anxiety, if you have a problem with persistent thoughts, as we all do, and if those persistent thoughts make you unhappy, there's a trick you can do, and it's called bilateral stimulation. What you want to do is you want to take a limb on the right side of your body and a limb on the left side of your body, and tap an area on the left side of your body with it, and do the same with the other. Bilateral stimulation, okay? It can be as simple as this, I think. You know, suppose you're sitting in public somewhere, I think you might be able to just sort of, cross your arms and sort of do like this. If you want to twist your nipples, that'll do it for sure. I think from my personal experiences, you want to go up the limb a bit. So if you think just touching your hands together, I don't really feel confident that works. I think you want to at least go to the elbows. Best of all, you want to go to the shoulders. All right. What you're doing is you're creating dual feedback loops, all right, that have to go through the midbrain, all right? It has to go, all right, so right hand, left shoulder. They feel each other. That means the shoulder is talking to the brain and the hand is talking to the brain. That signal is looping through the body, through the brain, through the corpus callosum. You do that on the other side, you're getting a loop through the shoulder, through the hand, through the brain, through the corpus callosum. You get two of them. This is a way to get your right brain and left brain to talk to each other. All right? Consider it marital counseling for the masculine and feminine sides of your brain. You need both sides of your brain active. You could incorporate this into meditation. Meditation has always used bodily positions, and it's partly about conducting energy properly, but it's also about getting your fucking electrical system connected correctly. So I think it's okay if you wanted to do something like this. You could do laying down meditation, which I do every night. It's not the best because if you fall asleep, that's considered bad. I don't know why, but I have a hard time going to sleep, so I usually get a lot of meditation in before I go to sleep. So for me, laying down meditation is fine. You could do like this. The problem with this is if you lay like this, you're sort of creating, you're symbolically laying like a corpse, which may not be good, just sort of psychologically. Try something else. Try crossing your legs while laying down. Just to, foot to knee. Or twist your nipples. It's fun. But it's gotta be right hand to left nipple, left hand to right nipple. Alright? This obliterates anxiety. Obliterates it. There's another thing you can do. And it's basically bilateral stimulation. So let's say you have persistent thoughts. Say you got into an argument with someone in a fucking intersection the other day, someone in a big black truck who needs to have his dick slapped, and you can't stop thinking about it because you know that asshole is going around thinking a wrong thing. So let's suppose that thought keeps on coming up in your mind. Well, another form of bilateral stimulation that you can do is think that thought, okay? When that thought occurs to you, just stop whatever you're doing and then move your eyes side to side. All right? Move your eyes side to side. What this does is it puts your brain in a mode where you are moving through the environment and you feel safe. Okay? Because when you feel safe, you don't do this. You do this. You move forward rapidly, and you don't move your eyes along the horizon, like a Cylon. You remember the Cylons from Battlestar Galactica? They had that light that went wow, 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 wow. That's what you want to do with your eyes. You want to go wow, 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 wow. And what this does, it creates a bilateral, cool scooter, a bilateral stimulation situation. And it also puts your brain in a mode where it believes it is safe and exploring, okay? Now let's talk, the exploratory mode is important to understand. The exploratory mode, cats will go into an exploratory mode after getting they have a part of their brain the part of their brain that's most similar to our frontal cortex. If that gets injured in a cat, they will go into exploratory mode, where it just means going around and checking stuff out. Going around and checking stuff out. I've always been like that. I think it's kind of a creative way to be. It's a deeply non-left brain way to be. It's especially a non-analytical way to be, because you're not analyzing anything. You're just sort of checking shit out, seeing what's here. How is this place? How is this place? How do they connect to each other? How could I live here? It's a very right-brained way of thinking. Exploratory action. So by moving your eyes like this, you put your brain into an exploratory mode. If you were being chased by a lion, you could not do this. You could not do this, all right? You would be directly scanning the territory in front of you as you try not to bump into a rock and move forward as quickly as you possibly can because you're trying to get away. If you're in danger, you don't do this. If you're in a fight, you definitely don't do this because you're looking at your opponent, or you should be, for God's sake. So by slowly looking from side to side, following the horizon, scanning the horizon, we are looking for new possibilities. All right? And when you're looking for new possibilities, that means you have the safety bubble, or at least the belief that there are new possibilities to be found. This puts the brain in a relaxed state. Okay? A relaxed state of discovery. This is the normal state of the right brain. Alright, so we've talked about Motivational Doc's pressure points. We've talked about the lie about salt, the lie about sugar. We've talked about the lie about cholesterol. Why are all these lies present? I think specifically I find it interesting that You don't find any doctors who will tell you about pressure points that can be used to cause the nervous system to do things that are beneficial for you right now, particularly opening up the airways. We know that there are pressure points that can open up your airways and make it easier for you to breathe. So if you wake up one day and you find that you're not breathing as easily as you should be, then you might think, oh shit, I got lung cancer. Or you may think, oh crap, I got lung congestion. Well, the passageways for air in your lungs, they open and close. They open and close. Sometimes they're tight, sometimes they're loose. But the body is sophisticated, but it's simple, it's reactionary. We need to be able to exert some control over it. That's why you can stop breathing if you want to. Oh shit, I don't know what that cloud of gas moving towards me is, but I do see that there's a crashed chemical truck up the road, so I'm gonna go and stop fucking breathing for a minute to not breathe in the poison. See, animals can't do that. Animals can't do that. We can. Well, it's not just breathing that we have control over, it's other functions as well. And by discovering pressure points, we become aware that that is the case. So I would submit to you that much of these health lies are just in parallel to the psychological lies. The psychological lies and the worldview lies, which stop you from waking up your left brain, waking up your right brain, not being stuck in one or the other mode of thinking, and then marrying the two, connecting them, running a line through that corpus callosum. Not just nervously, not just physically, but actually, spiritually. See, the brain is a machine. It is a machine. But you are not a machine. You are not a machine. You are an energetic form, created from the same stuff that the Creator is made out of. Alright? And this is what the top assholes don't want you to know. They don't want you to know that you are not just a hunk of meat. They want you to think that you are a soft machine only. That you are a soft machine only. And that if you die, then everything about you is wasted. And that ultimately that type of thinking makes a person vindictive. It brings about a revenge mentality. Alright? Shit. Okay. Ow, man. I wish I could remember what I did to my pinky finger, because it fucking hurts. I think I need another... No, I don't have one. Okay, I'm just gonna take it. All right, so start with these health lies. Before I go on more fulsomely, let me say this: that when it comes to being in good health, you've got to know what it means to watch yourself from the inside. All right, you've got to be able to watch your thoughts from the inside. If you can't do that, I mean, if you can't do that, I don't know what to tell you. If you can't watch your thoughts from inside of you, to see them as if they are weather patterns, and understand that they are not what you are, then the only thing I could say to you is spend time being quiet in the dark, with an intention, with a request on your heart, as if you had one, with a request on your heart that you should be given enough soul to be able to see inside of yourself. This is why the Bible says things like, those with eyes to see and ears to hear. Because some people just ain't fucking got it. Some people just ain't fucking got it. And this is something we see over and over again in the Abrahamic texts. And frankly, my experience shows me that it seems to be true. However, there are other spiritual traditions that say that you have to grow a soul. You have to grow a soul. You're not born with one. And Christians are going to go, what did God give me? And Jesus said if I go, oops, then I'm okay. Guys, you know, I love Christianity. I've told you that many times. That Christianity has warlike values that are designed to create societies that are immune to the lies of the top assholes. All right, and that's why I think I'm not going to have time to do the news story this week, which is fine. But we are going to talk about it, the news, a bit, and I'll tell you why. So Christianity is a warlike religion, and the reason I believe this is because the top assholes believe that the God of Christianity is a being sent by the forces of goodness to destroy them. So I dare you to think in those terms, read the Old Testament, and tell me if you don't think that's true as well. As far as I'm concerned, that's a good thing. And that's why you see horrifying stories in the Old Testament that say things like, go in that city and wipe them all out. Because clearly we're talking about a story involving a city full of people who are so deeply tied to the Matrix that they'll fight to save it. So unfortunately, there's no choice except to wipe them all out because they're all agents. A warlike God. The painkiller. Have you been around? Have you heard me talk about these things? Because I've been talking about it for a fucking minute. My friends, you have to grow a soul. You have to grow a soul. This world is a game. Oh, God. How much work can I do? Fuck. I'm getting work requests. Title about our infrared patio heaters, natural gas, propane, and electric? No! Actually, I like that client. But I'm tired of writing about barbecue pits. Yeah. So it looks like we're gonna skip the Lost Novel today. I haven't read it enough to justify reading it to you. I think we're gonna skip the news too. But basically, back on track. You need to grow a soul, and you can do this. You can do this. But you have to. But it's not something you're not born with a soul. You are born with a personality. There are things about you that are individual and immutable and perhaps survive death. But by a soul, what we really mean is an aspect of your being, of your many-layered being, that can not only survive death and be reincarnated, but can actually go somewhere fucking else. It's what you need to be a viable citizen of the universe, and without it, you're stuck here. You're stuck here. In the seemingly endless cycle of pain, death, and play. And I tell you, I think that this world is like a PvP video game where there's two teams of shooters, and you just keep reincarnating and keep reincarnating. It's Groundhog's Day. It's Groundhog's Day, and if you can ever learn your way out of it, you can become like a god. I don't mean to suggest you can become the creator of the universe, but you can reestablish the powers that you're meant to have. Alright? Reestablish the powers that you meant to have. And if you want to learn more about the powers that you're meant to have, I want to recommend a video to you to see if I can find it. Oh God, I just watched the most recent 411 video last night, a documentary. It's free on YouTube. Missing 411 The Hunted. It's It was actually released on my birthday, which is synchronistic. No, I'm not going to tell you what my birthday is. Let's see, here we go. Oh, no, I got it. I think. Let me see. Not sure. Let me see if it's got what I'm talking about. Yeah, it does. Alright, if you want to learn what human beings are truly capable of, watch a video entitled, and the title's, it's clickbaity, okay? But just forget about that. It's called Learning to Use the Force dash Robert Sepher. Cepher. Sepher. Channel is named Robert Sepher. I promise you, you need to be watching this guy. You forget about me and go watch Robert Sepher. Because, as I told you, I'm not a researcher. I'm a three-searcher. I look at other people's research. And I vet the research of researchers against other researchers. And then against my own experience. I don't do my own research. Why? I've got other shit to do. You understand what I'm saying to you? But if you want to figure out what humans are supposed to be able to do, if you want to figure out what has been stolen from us, watch this video. Learning to Use the Force, Robert Sepher. Go, do it. I didn't click like on this. What the fuck is wrong with me? Learning to Use the Force by Robert Sepher. You need to watch that. If you want to know what we have lost, you're going to see people do magic shit. For real. Several people do magic shit. I've done magic shit on this channel. Yeah, the rice experiment in particular, which you should look up and do because it's extremely educational. It will show you that your fucking meat is not all there is to you. God damn it. So, last week we talked about what rights are. And understanding what rights are is key to being able to do right action in the world. However, if you do not connect your left and right side hemispheres, if you do not grow a soul, then you can learn what a right is all day long and not give a fuck. You won't fucking care. Because you don't have a fucking soul. Because you don't have a connection to the divine. You don't have a vehicle to the infinite. You can't touch what's real. You are stuck in the game. And what is the mindset that makes you win in the game is left brain insect mentality. Right? This is why people who teach reincarnation say things like, well, if you make these mistakes in life, you'll be reincarnated as a wolf. And then if you make these mistakes in life, you'll be reincarnated as a fish. And if you make these mistakes in life, you'll be reincarnated as a fucking bug. You're getting closer and closer and closer to what the left-hand mode of thinking is. And it's all about, what can I get out of this situation right now? And at the end of the day, when you get down to the final basic insect level, it's, I'm gonna eat my ma. You know, it's just fucking straight up familial cannibalism. Right at the bottom of the barrel. And then I suppose you get down to bacteria, which is just grow and eat anything that can be eaten. That is what the left-hand way of thinking is about. Of course, the top assholes believe in left-hand thinking, but they believe in it in a way that's much more functional than anything you will be taught in military academy. Think about this. Just look at the face of a cop or a military person while they are standing at attention. Grim, empty, obedient, formidable, able to do harm, tough, empty, obedient, grim. Why? Because I want to please my satanic daddy. Because that's what it is. It's about parental abandonment. What the fuck is that? My shit's beeping at me. It's probably the Loveless jobs. No, I don't want to write about barbecues this week. Thank you. I've gotten to a point where I can actually turn down jobs once in a while, which means I'm making progress. Which is really only possible because I've enhanced my ability to eat shit. It's not necessarily a good thing. Alright, so normally right now we would go into story time. And I don't want to quit that. I'm fucking wrecked again. And I feel it's important to explain why I think paying attention to current events matters. No, it doesn't mean that there's a political answer to our problems. There is a political answer to our problems, but we can never achieve it without achieving the mental and the spiritual answer. And the mental and spiritual answer is be a fully integrated being. No, just because you have a dick or a pussy doesn't mean that you have the spirit of a man or a woman. That's just part of what you need to get by in this world. You are not a man. You are not a woman. You are a spirit with a dick, or a spirit with a body that has a twat. That's what you are. It's a vehicle. It's the most sophisticated vehicle there is. Not the fastest, but the most sophisticated. You need to be able to think in right mind terms. And you need to be able to think in left mind terms at the same time. You need to be able to think in both modes at the same time. And meditation is a way to achieve that. And if you sit down and you start doing meditation and you find yourself slipping into automatic thoughts and you go, "Oh, I'm not doing it. It's not working. Oh." Just keep. It's working. It's working. It is working. Your mistake is to say that because you had an automatic thought that you fucked up. No, those thoughts will come no matter what. Those thoughts come to even the most advanced practitioners of meditation. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. They are the weather. The difference between an advanced meditator and someone who gives up is someone who gives up goes, "Oh, I saw a cloud on the horizon and therefore the sky's not perfect and I will leave this world because it's bugged." No, there's clouds. Your thoughts are like clouds. They come and they go. Sometimes they linger. Sometimes they rain on you. But they leave. And they have to come and they have to go. Just like your bowels have to shit. Your brain has to force thoughts on you. It has to. It doesn't mean you're failing. Because those thoughts are not you. They are not what you are. Fuck! No, you are something else. You are the awareness that watches the thoughts. That is what meditates. You understand? In time, we can give that true self more control over the bodily mechanisms, over this shit, and over this shit, and over this shit. And when you do that, then you start to become someone formidable. Okay? And that's what I want for you. That's what I want for myself. I'll tell you this. I used to have a bad anger problem. And I used to be mean to my kids. And Steph and Molly knew, taught me that needed to change. And meditation made it possible. Alright? Now I want you to think about that. And, I'll talk to you next week, alright? Love you guys. Toodles.